Are we on? Sounds like we're on. Well, it's not making any sound at all, but we might be on. Are we on? Baby, love really hurts without you. Love really hurts without you. And it's breaking my heart, and what can I do? Oh, baby, love really hurts without you. Love really hurts without you. G'day, guys. Welcome on in. So, a little bit of trouble with the Wi-Fi this morning, but I think we've got it sorted. I think we're all done and dusted, which is fantastic. We're up here bright and early in New Zealand. It's 7 a.m. here. And I have a lovely little plate. Ready to paint. And I actually went into the store yesterday and purchased myself a bit more white, because you run out of the big tubes of white. You need more of that than you realise. Now, what are we going to start with? This one here. Go on then. Go on. Baby, love really hurts without you. And it's breaking my soul, and what can I do, oh, baby? Jump on this here. Hello, RC. How's it going? My favourite Kiwi. Oh, thank you very much. Good to have you in here. We're working on a pretty special painting today. A fresh one. After we had our fun trial with the previous one on, well, yesterday, but it was a trial, 3 layers, trying to develop a portrait. I had a good time. Today, we're doing an animal. Animal. And the reason we're doing an animal is we're going to try a slightly modified technique on yesterday. And I didn't want to do another human face. I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So here we are. Because it's a flat, because it's a perspex surface, no priming necessary. We can work on it essentially like glass, which I really like. All right. Have you got the canvas in your sights? You will in a second. There you go. There you go. Right. Let's do this. Baby, love really hurts without you. Love really hurts without you. And it's breaking my soul, and what can I do, oh baby? Love really hurts without you. A crisp virtual high five to the person who can spot what this is first. A crisp high five. Travis, it has been a while. Travis, welcome on in. We're painting an animal, Travis. 10 points if you can spot the animal. 5 points if you're just excited anyway. A seal. Not a seal, but I like the style. I like the energy. I guess the Payne's Grey is kind of arctic, but no. No seal. Alrighty, tighty. Just need to splash this around here. There we go. Develop that nose. Oh, it's giving it away. Alright. Alrighty, tighty, tighty. Still a little bit brisk and cold this morning. I want to jump down into my just t-shirt, but at the moment the temperature's just too low, so we need to keep wearing this for a little bit longer, at least until we start getting some movement and rhythm into what we're doing. Cassie, welcome on in. Casey. Oh, this is new. We are painting on. Someone is missing a living room window, looks like. It took me way too long. Yeah. It's like living room window. Like looked over at the house. Like, is the window smashed? I'm painting on a living room window. I get it now. Hilarious. It is a sheet of Perspex glass. So it's not conventional glass, but it is a sheet of plastic essentially. And we're painting on it with acrylics. The acrylics on top of the Perspex, both polymers, adhere, so we don't need to worry about anything to do with longevity because it's got that built into it. And I can enjoy being able to see through it. Honestly, kind of fun because you get so locked into the art, you don't get to see any nature sometimes. And at the moment, by looking through it, I can see everything. So, on one hand, fairly distracting. On the other hand, kind of nice, kind of fun. Seb, is it a transparent canvas? Johnny K. How you doing, Johnny? It's a Perspex sheet. And it's got 4 holes in it. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the corners. Because when our layering gets too intense, I've got more Perspex sheets. And basically the plan of attack is, once this sheet here is finished, or it gets too thick with its textures, I'll literally put another sheet over the top, about 1/4 of an inch off this one, and then start painting that one. So that way we don't have to worry about the impasto techniques we use early on. We can thicken the textures, have them really bouncing off the surface, and then every time it gets too much for us, it gets too intense, we can literally just fresh start, keep being detailed, keep playing with it. So we'll see how it goes. Exactly. Who said that? Jace. Stacking them like Legos. That's exactly right. So as previously, you might remember well back in the day, I was using resins occasionally to try and get some effects and to layer things when things got too dense and textured and impasto-like. And this is just another way of trialing that to get those same textures in the work early while not restricting our ability to do things later on. Don't want to restrict our ability to do things later on. A jellyfish. That's an interesting idea, but no, not a jellyfish. I like the way that with the. I like the way that. Gosh, just trying to lose your trail of thought around here. I like the way that the glass actually obscures it a little bit. With white, it's so obvious what can be happening. The lines are, pow, they're in front of you, contrasting. With this, they only really start to come out gradually as we add. And I kind of think that takes away the intensity or anxiety around the first stroke. Not that I get that, but yeah. I like Perspex. Perspex is fun. I haven't fully made up my mind yet. I like linen canvases too. Masonite will always have a special place in my heart, but Perspex is fun. You need a hint, or you'll get there, Russ, so you don't need to worry about a thing. There's no way you don't get what this is. Unless it's a painting by Seb, in which case it can get pretty confusing. Anything else, I'm sure you've got locked in. You'll be totally fine. Baby, love really hurts without you. Love really hurts without you. Breaking my heart in two. Ooh, a butterfly. Now I wish it was a butterfly. I like this though because we know we're starting right. And I say this, you need to start with chaos and build towards entropy, if that's the correct terminology. But I know we're in the right place when someone says jellyfish, someone says butterfly, and it's like an entirely different species altogether. That's where I'm like, okay, we're definitely starting wild because we're putting out an energy that we're well off the base. I like that. A bird, again. No, hoo-hoo. But again, same story. I like the energy you're bringing to it. There we go. Now we're going to select this brush here. Beautiful. Give it a little dip-de-dip. Is it a dragon? I am comfy. Thank you very much. I had a nice polo shirt planned for this live session. I was going to get nice and, you know, feel good and come out here looking the part. And then I'm like, you know what? Seb, it's chilly. So you either double down and you put on a proper suit so you can actually really feel the part and be warm, or you get all snuggly wuggly puggly. I chose snuggly wuggly puggly, and here we are. We're snuggly wuggly puggly. If you're wondering what that term is, that's the term I use to say to my daughter. Where I'm like, let me make you all snuggly wuggly puggly. She doesn't speak English yet. But when she does, she'll also want to be snuggly wuggly puggly. There we go. Let's get that through there. Come on down here. There we go. So the plan is, once the textures on this get too thick, we move on to another Perspex panel on top. But for now, this means we don't need to restrain ourselves with thinking less texture, less texture, less texture, less impasto, less thickness. We can actually just absolutely just play what we've got going on. Cold morning, so I want to make sure that at the very minimum a little bounce goes into my step, otherwise we'll never warm up. And it's nice to be warm, guys. I think I like cold weather, but I like being warm. If that makes sense. Bolds wear white. Actually, it's both cream colours, so I can get away with a bit of paint on me. You'd be like, oh look, he's got nothing on him. Ah, maybe he does, but when he cleaned it off, it all just sort of disappeared because cream gets away with more sins. There we go. Baby, love really hurts without you. Love really hurts without you. And it's breaking my soul, and what can I do? Come on, baby. Get that song out of my head, but it's not going anywhere. Once Billy Ocean's in your head, he stays in your head. So think, imagine if your partner, imagine if his or her ex was someone like Billy Ocean or Ed Sheeran. She'd be sitting there, you'd be like, you know, baby, love really hurts without you. And you'd be like, it's a good song, but I'm not sure if I'm really, you know. What's the, I don't know. Kind of the same feeling you'd get if you're listening to Jesse's Girl. In that song, I wish I had Jesse's Girl. If you were listening to that song, you'd, and you'd say your partner, you're Jesse, and your partner's called Cheryl. Say Cheryl, and you and Cheryl have gone along to support this her friend who's in a band, and you go along, and he's singing Jesse's Girl. You'd be like, hey, John, great concert, loved all the music, had a real good time being there. That 8th track that you played, you'd be like, look, mate, don't worry about it. Why are you being weird? I'm like, it just seemed oddly specific. Hey Ryan, how we doing? Welcome on in. A painting animal, which has been confirmed to be not a jellyfish, confirmed to be not a bird, and confirmed to be not a jellyfish, bird, or there was one other thing that was confirmed not to be. Butterfly It's not a jellyfish, bird or butterfly, or moth or tree, or a high. Oh, that's a genuine high. Hello, welcome on in. Or a raccoon. It's not a bird, jellyfish, moth, tree, butterfly, or raccoon. But now I'm kicking myself, literally kicking myself, that I didn't paint a bird, tree, moth, butterfly, or raccoon, because these are all great ideas, excellent ideas. And I feel like in the Sid Gowrat repertoire, in the Sid Gowrat archives, there is not enough raccoon pictures. I feel like if a critic had a look through my work and said, he uses an impressionist style, paints pictures with a lot of colour and movement, transposing feelings onto the surface. Unfortunately, his artwork has a severe lack of raccoon subject matter, and therefore I have to give him 2 stars out of 5. It would break my heart, but it would be the world we live in. This will make you laugh. The baby was crying, and the only way to stop her was when I held her up to Solo Gullah. You cannot sell that painting anymore. Cooper likes the Solo Gullah. Yeah, Cooper likes Solo Gullah. Was it? That's pretty exciting. I like that. I like that. Art bringing something fresh. Let's get this all around here. There's a beauty to painting on Perspex panels as well, because when you're on Perspex, paint strokes without adding any medium into even a heavy body paint land really fluidly, they're smooth, they glide over the surface. And honestly guys, that's pretty special, because you can work with a lot of different kind of mediums into the paint, but to actually get that perfect flow effortlessly. I know we can do a lot of things with effort, but we're talking effortlessly. Well then that's something else entirely. A jaguar or a panther. See, it's not a jaguar, a panther, a moth, a butterfly, a jellyfish, a raccoon, or a... The list is getting too long. I'm losing myself in this list. Or a bird. Or flowers. Hello, Jesus. Welcome on in. Ryan is correct. It belongs to Cooper now. Cooper has decided. Coopercita has decided. There we go. Gonna splash that through there. Baby. Love really hurts without you. And it's breaking my soul. Oh, what can I do? Come on, baby. Love really hurts without you. Love really hurts without you. And it's breaking my soul. Oh, what can I do? Come on, baby. Good old Billy Ocean. There's one thing Billy Ocean knows how to do. It's write a banger. I wonder if he wrote that song. If he didn't write that song, the one thing he knows how to do is to sing a banger. And that's okay too. Baby, love really hurts without you. It's breaking my heart, and what can I do? Come on, baby. Love really hurts without you. Cheers from Belfast. You're up very early today. I am. Welcome on and JTD. I think it's a lion, says Jesus. A wolf or a bear for sure. It is not a lion, wolf, bear, moth, butterfly, jellyfish, bird or raccoon. But, you know what? At the rate we're going, we will get through this animal kingdom. And if you go through every single species, I guarantee one which you and I know will be the right one. So just keep trying and we'll get there together. Baby, love really hurts without you. A bit more red. Do I have red? I do have red. I have a candium-free red. Ooh, oh. Candium's a heavy metal which goes in a lot of paints. It's a carcinogenic, it causes cancer. And it's weird. We've got a cancer-causing heavy metal in paint. We've got candium, cobalt, and one other one. And weirdly enough, we're not like, okay, let's not have the cancer-causing paint. Instead, everyone buys the cancer-causing paint, and there's like fancy, ooh, isn't that cancer-free paint? Ooh, how nice. Like, that's outrageous. Imagine if we did that with food, and we were like, hey, this food all causes cancer, and then literally branded as it. You're like, but this here, these are the cancer-free apples. And you'd be like, ooh, how nice. Like, there's an outrageousness to it, is what I'm saying. That the art community doesn't immediately just dispel paint ingredients proven to cause cancer. We're not just like, well, let's not use those. Definitely. Can't wait to Jeepers. I'm back from the Rarotonga getaway. It was nice though. It was a beautiful trip. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Saw turtles. Cooper went for a swim. Her first sea swim was in Rarotonga. In the exact same location, get this, unintentionally, the exact same location of the last swim of Cooper's great-grandmother. How about that? What are the chances? Hello, Pete. What's up, Brooksy? Long time, how are you? Oh, broski. I think saying Brooksy. I'm like, is that like a Queen's term? Am I just not cool enough to know what these terms are? That's the question here. No, there's not, Casey. You've just got me. But that's okay. We're going to move on to the... do I want to put blacks in this? We're just going to keep dabbling around these fun colours. That's a question for future set, but at the moment... Ooh, too light, too dark, too dark. There we go, that's more like it, that's what I want. That's what I want, because baby, love really hurts without you. Love really hurts through and through. Ooh, a stag? Hello, Pink, how you doing? A bull? No, a unicorn. Okay, well I'm going to say the unicorn's pretty much there. You've pretty much got it. It's a stallion. And it's running straight at you on a sort of like side. It's done that sort of thing that stallions can do, where it's suddenly poured itself as it's galloping around a corner. And that's, so its legs coming down here, face here directly at you, and its hair, whoosh, its mane is in all directions. It isn't a unicorn, but you know what? Maybe we add a unicorn horn to it. Maybe this can be a unicorn. Maybe. We'll see. But again, guys, great spot to be in because it does not want to have clarity. The worst thing that can happen to your art, I need to check myself occasionally, when you can see the picture straight away in 2 or 3 strokes, effectively if you do that, the picture is kind of done. The picture doesn't want to reveal itself until at least layer 2. If it reveals itself earlier, it just hasn't been given a chance to build up those expressive undercoated strokes. So, let the strokes come in there first. Let the fun happen in the base layers. Otherwise, you'll never get it later on in the piece. But there is this anxiety that goes into it. You're like, oh, I have to see clarity early. I have to show people what it looks like straight away. Relax. Relax and sit in that ambiguous zone, that zone of kind of pareidolia, where you and people look at it and sort of make connections out of what is effectively ambiguous subject matter. But if you are able to sit there in pareidolia for long enough and keep applying strokes with good intentions through these crazy, disjointed, confused strokes, suddenly a picture emerges, even though no stroke is technically the right colour in the right place. Somehow a picture emerges, and you only get that through trust. You say, trust the process. Yeah, it sounds cheesy, but it's true. If you don't trust the process, there is no art. You must just allow yourself to sit in that uncomfortable, confused zone of not being able to see it just yet. Otherwise, it can never truly exist. You're like, well, that sounds a bit intense. Well, it's true. It's the truth. Here we go. I can see the black stallion there in the dust as it's galloping. Bang, Ryan, well done. Another guess would have been a zebra. I like zebras. Zebras are a weird one. A weird one because zebras are one of the only animals in the whole animal kingdom that definitely, I mean there's lots of examples actually, butterflies too. Butterflies and zebras always, in my opinion, photograph better than they paint, because a zebra has a beautiful coat, and it's the contrast and the exact lines of its coat that make the beauty of a zebra, which a camera captures with perfect accuracy. A brush can replicate, but it can't improve on, yet a camera with the right settings applied can capture that in a way that's even more beautiful than what our eyes can see, just in reality. And same with the butterfly. Colours are so intense already, a camera can capture those. Painting can only replicate, it can't build on or improve that. Whereas with other animals, painting has a lot to add, a lot to build on, a lot to change and create. And basically I'm saying if you wanted a commission of a butterfly, it would have to be more than just a butterfly. I feel like a camera does a great job of that. Is it cold in New Zealand? Yes, it is. It is cold in New Zealand. Do you remember talking to my school on Zoom, Maya? Of course I do. Is it North or South Island? Which school? Give me some hints, and I'll know. North Island. Are you Auckland? Are you within driving distance of Auckland? Oh, wait, it was a Zoom call. So if you're in the North Island, are you in, wild guess, Pyroa? Are you a school in Pyroa? Now, let me get what colour was I after? Blue, baby. Give me that blue. Gotcha. Maya Ainsley from Pyroa. Well, Maya, it was an absolute delight talking to your school. And I remember that chat. I had a few pictures of the Lady of Liberty, Statue of Liberty in the background. Do you paint yourself, Maya? And Candice, hello Candice, how you doing? Do you make body paint also? No. The problem with body painting is it's fun for performance art, but the issue with it is it's not archival, because obviously the person doesn't sit still. So I like being able to make art that can hypothetically hang around if it's beautiful. It doesn't want to just disappear. And you wouldn't want to leave paint on your body blocking your pores for more than a few hours, so body art can't really survive the test of time. Apart from that though, love the performance art aspect of it. Love the performance art aspect. There we go. I said Betty there. So it's a black stallion, but I think we're going to encapsulate those colours with a bit of blue instead. So the dark areas will be ultramarine blue, simply because what we figured out yesterday when we were working on that piece was that I don't need black. Payne's grey we started with, but I don't need black because the additional perspex sheets that go on top, they literally behave like well, because they're flat, opaque colours, they cast shadows on the underlying perspex. And so those shadows darken the colours, and so you get unintentional blacker areas, darker areas, without actually adding black. There's no point casting shadows on black. That's overkill. It's overdoing it. So a lot of these ultramarine blue areas will change to a darker shade because the shadows cast on them by additional layers going on top. So there's a little bit of planning going on here, team. A little bit of planning. Baby, Seb's got a song stuck in his head. It's a good one though. Ooh. And if Flight of the Conchords. That's one show that I've been meaning to watch for a while. Haven't gone back to it. It's a goodie. Prefer a blue stallion. Alright. We've got a fan of the blue stallion. This is good because this is a blue stallion. But we'll see. Let's see how it goes. Luke. Welcome to the team, Luke. You absolute legend. Good to have you here. And Maya, my friend, made a slideshow about your work. Maya, that's phenomenal. Well, it was a real pleasure, and I'm glad I could actually have that call with you guys and talk to you about art. New Zealand's a small place, Maya, and we've got a lot of artists, but the beauty about being an artist in 2024 is there's 5 billion people in the world, and actually it's not one of those situations. What I'm saying is 20 years ago we had enough artists in every city. Today we need more artists, we need more people painting than ever before. Jay Smith, it is freezing here. And Jay, pleasure to see you. Sorry, the yarn I was saying there, I think I'm stealing it off someone. I'm paraphrasing. Someone said we don't need more soldiers, politicians, and something else, and businessmen. We need more artists, poets, and singers. Now, we've got lots of singers. Singers is catered for, and one of the reasons singers is pretty well catered for is when Ed Sheeran writes a song, that same song can go to everyone. But art can't go to everyone, not physically handmade art. There's not enough people making this to garnish the amount of white walls still out there in the world. And although it's a tough road, we need more artists desperately in this world. It is a conquest that in a world that's getting more addicted to screens, more isolated in homes all around the world, or whatever might be going on, is a conquest to bring more feeling into lives. And before I started pursuing art full time, my life was a little bit more numb without it. So I want to pass that on and get that message out there. Thanks for the blue. Colour's much appreciated. Your pink, not so much. People have been hating on my magenta. I want to tell you guys, I'm not avoiding magenta right now because you guys are hating on it. I think it's really important that whatever an artist does, they pursue it in and of their own vision. But we're not using magenta on this one. But I'm so sorry. J. Cody, I'm so sorry. I'm definitely using magenta again. But this one's for you because this one doesn't have any magenta in it. So I'm like, it's funny. I'm like, I'm doing what you're saying, but I'm doing it for me. I swear. The scandal. I will own one of your paintings one day. Love your work. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I think it's beautiful to own an original. Not just of my work, but of any artist's work that you put in your home, your children's work, your partner's work you find at a farmer's market, at a small gallery, and you felt an emotional, something elicited emotional response from you, and you put it in your home to develop character in your space. Like, these are beautiful, beautiful things, guys. And I think I see a lot of houses like with bohemian themes and all these different kinds of styles and things. But remember that a home is not to be a theme. It's not a desktop background. It's a place that you feel emotionally connected to. So don't just theme it. Make it yours. Make it special. I think there's too many homes that are just replications of internet browsers. You know, not like that. Of just with a background on them. And actually, your home wants to be something deeply personal. When someone walks inside your home, kind of like that show The Mentalist, if The Mentalist walked inside your home, would they get a very, very good idea of who you were? And more importantly, would they see someone who was self-aware of who they were, or someone who was, I don't know, couldn't get who they were inside and had their feelings to bring out into the world? Do you hide it? Being able to bring your feelings into the world and articulate that is becoming one of the most powerful traits you could possibly have in the world. Think about chatbot GBT, for example, robots. Within a year, the world changed from you must have information, you must have answers, blah, 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 blah. You develop these things or whatever, you needed the ability to do things. That changed within 365 days. Chatbot GPT changed the game to you need the answers, to the winners of 2024 will be the people who can ask the right questions. Because Chatbot GPT works off prompts. You've got a device there now which has the culmination of human intelligence at your fingertips, and all it needs from you is the right prompt, the right question, or the right instruction. And so suddenly the world changed. Weirdly, overnight, the world has kind of changed. I say overnight, but over a couple of years, to be in a case where actually your curiosity or your ability to think, critically think or imagine, is now the most powerful human trait, because you can combine yourself with AI now, and there can be something that does all the hard yards. It just needs your imagination. That's the powerful thing here. Casey, I wasn't happy with art during school. Not much freedom, in my opinion, too much pressure. I don't know about your individual experience at school, so it's really, really hard to comment. And I don't want to say it's the same as mine, but I felt a lot of pressure in what I was doing at school. But it was self-imposed. I was young, I was impressionable, and I thought I knew what other people wanted to see in art, and I thought that people wanted to see me make pretty pictures and capture pretty resemblances and do pretty gradients. More importantly, I thought people wanted me to sacrifice myself to make art. I didn't think anyone wanted me to be happy while I made it. I thought it was supposed to be a sad pursuit. And that's kind of funny talking about now. You know, I thought The Tortured Artist was a genuine mold that people wanted filled. The Tortured Artist is a genuine mold, but people don't want you to fill it. People want artists who are vitalized by their craft. People want builders who love building houses. People want electricians who love working with electricity. People want businessmen who love the heartbeat and just lifeblood of business and companies. Politics, people who love that. And with artists, it's the same thing. You want your artists to love what they're doing and to make things and grow from it. If they're not making things and growing from it, the art lacks that unique factor. It's stale, it's a craft. And so, especially if you're working on work like commissions, you've got to make sure that whatever the commission is, it grows you and it changes you. If it doesn't, the commission has no flavour. It's a curry without spice. It's a curry without spice. It's a good way to put it. And I said, baby. It's breaking my soul, and what can I do? Come on, baby. There we go. Put more behind that here, and then this one here. Come on, baby. Do 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 do. All right. What's our next colour gonna be? Raymond, I'm having you on, aren't I? No, I genuinely think the world needs more artists. I genuinely think that whatever the last point was that I was saying, even if I did mambo jambo and trip over it a whole lot, coming on down here, watching your art made me feel so relaxed. Well, thanks, Jesus, I appreciate that. We can't all do what we want. Well, that's kind of true for everyone. Yeah, it's true, but I think there are things that we can do on a small level each day that can make us happy. I think that's fair. There we go. Alright, coming on down here. We need more Dragonite paintings. At least I do, yeah. You know what? It's funny you say that, Pink, because no joke, I downloaded Pokemon Go the other day, about 4 days ago. I played it for 2.5 days, and I realised, nah, it needs to go. Can't keep playing Pokemon Go. I've deleted it off my phone. Way too addictive. Got to go. It was, I just enjoy that game too much, and the reason why I say that, Pink, is my Pokemon that walked beside me was a Dragonite. It was a rocket Dragonite that I'd rescued and purified, so it had like a white glow to it. Dragonite's my favourite Pokemon. But anyway, too addictive. Can't be doing that. Can't be losing time on a game like that. Not with a daughter. Not when I need to be making paintings. They're coming out with a new Dragonite. A new Dragonite coming out in October. Well, blow me days. We need to show one brilliant into some white. Unless, scratch that, red oxide. We'll do red oxide, which is like a dirty brown colour. I'm going to put that into a bit of white. Here we go. There we go. Raymond, I love that you're here, Raymond. I appreciate you being here. Now, this picture here, it's going to build up slowly in amongst the layers. When it first starts, it's not going to look exactly like the subject, and in fact it shouldn't. It shouldn't. If you think of a work like a hotel or a house, if you want to build it up, it starts with concrete foundations, and it will look nothing like the house, but good foundations make great buildings. So, I mean, imagine if with the first day a construction team started on a hotel and the manager showed up and said, this doesn't look like the hotel, pull it all down. It must look like the hotel from the first block. It's the most terrible building practice of all time, and art's very similar to that. Now what I'll do though, I come here, you'll see in the picture there, you'll see a couple of strokes kind of insinuating movement and big actions there. Let's put the horse behind it. There we go, right there. There's our horse that we're working off, and we're ready to drop it down. Down we go. So you can start to see that even though those strokes are kind of messy and wild, they're actually defining the background colours and elements within this picture. There's no definition yet. We don't want the definition yet. We just want that wild movement. And so between the two shots, the only thing we have, the only thing, and it's what we've been prioritising, is that moment of movement. Now if we can capture that movement, then we can add detail. That's easy to add. Detail is so simple. I don't know why everyone gets so up in arms. You know, like, oh, I need to learn how to do eyes and ears and noses and feet. Detail's so easy. There is a million YouTube courses to teach you eyeballs. In fact, you can just rope learn it and just literally do it exactly as the course. No one can show you how to transpose emotion and energy into a painting. That's tough. And so you need to get that first and then put the detail in. But don't ever start thinking, I'm going to learn how to paint eyes and ears and noses perfectly and then I'll become an artist. Nah, you'll break yourself before you figure out what's fun and what's real in art. What's really real in art is the feeling you put behind it, the emotions you can elicit and transpose onto a surface. If you lack that, don't worry about no one else loving your art. You won't love it. And if you don't love it, don't ever expect anyone else to love it. So, start with what you love, start with having fun, and the artwork will be beautiful. And trust me, if you want it to be more beautiful, if you want more detail or whatever, 20 minutes on YouTube. Once a day, 20 minutes on YouTube. At the end of the year, you will be the master. You'll be able to paint horses and faces and ears and mouths and runners and sunsets, whatever. Watch a few Bob Ross lessons. You'll learn how to do wet on wet oil paintings like that. It's really not hard to do detail. It's hard to capture feelings. Different worlds. All right, coming back in. Let me grab a little sip here. Poor old Raymond. Got a bit of a lecture. You didn't deserve that, Raymond, but I'm passionate about that. I think we get one of the biggest things that I did that artists really messaged me about and said, how did you do that, was we started painting the work from scratch. And when the work comes from scratch, it's messy, disjointed, blurry, and that's when you get the most hurtful comments. People say, I could do that. Well, yes, of course you could, because I just painted the canvas blue. In fact, it would have been really nice if you did do that first bit, so then I could do the next bit. And I was like, how did you find the courage to actually paint the start in front of people? And I honestly didn't think about it. But then when everyone else started asking, I probably started to overthink it, which is funny. That's a real thing that happens. And Hitty, welcome on in, Hitty. Been a hot minute since I've seen you. Hope Rotorua's treating you well. Hope you're eating plenty of seafood. Oh, I just got back from Rarotonga, where I literally ate sashimi almost every day. I love raw fish, guys. Love me some sashimi. And they had some great sauces over in Rarotonga because sashimi is what it is. It's raw fish. And it's just an argument of what kind of fish and how fresh you can get it. But then when it comes to the next stage for it, it's what sauce you combine it with. And so Rarotongans have been perfecting different kinds of sauces to really pop that stuff to the next level. Alright, in here. I said, baby, love really hurts without you. Still in my head, and it's breaking my soul. Oh, what can I do? Come on, baby. Love really hurts without you. Sweet leg. Come on, baby. That goes right the way through. How did I miss that? That's a naughty good guy. So we come down there. Scoop through there. Hello, Seb, Anna. Long time, been so busy with studies. Hope you're keeping well. Thanks, Anna. Hope your studies are going well. And Ray, welcome on in, Ray. Hey. We're painting. We're painting a gorgeous black stallion, but the trick is here, we're not using black, and it's going to be a few separate layers on top of each other. So right now we're on layer 1. Ooh, nice. Obviously tucking my neck a little bit, and the plan is, as we go through this, layer 1's going to have full intensity, full coverage. The next layer on top of that, a little bit less. So that way you can see through the next layer into this layer, and so on and so forth. It's an interesting way to layer, actually. And we're not fully sure if it's going to work. I should preface that, because this is a new technique that I'm dabbling with here. And yesterday, it's funny, I don't like using the word failure, success or failure. We learned so much yesterday by layering those 3 or 4 panels. And that's what I've left on today, thinking, right, let's actually start one that can be a little bit wild with a lot of movement, and let's see what we get out of it. Baby, love really hurts without you. Love really hurts through and through. And it's breaking my heart. Oh, what can I do? Alrighty, tighty. I said I wasn't going to use black, but I might dabble across to a little bit of Payne's Grey. Just a little bit. I know you're a preschool teacher. A preschool teacher? Well, that's a massive compliment. Because people who are good with kids, pretty cool people. But no, honestly though, if I couldn't be an artist, a counsellor or a teacher would be high up on the rankings of what I'd like to do. Did I know Mike Dunstan? I did not. I do know a few Mikes, but I probably don't know your Mike, maybe. Do I? I don't know. Jeepers. Raymond. What we'll do, Raymond, is we love having you here, Raymond. I'm sure you're a lovely, lovely individual. But I reckon we'll give you just this live to cool down. And next time, we'll give you back your ability to join the conversation. Alright. Let's chuck this on the plate here. Perfecto. It's funny, there's actually... Raymond's always polarised from side to side. We get some Raymonds who hate the art. And then there's literally... I think there's actually 2 Americans called Raymond who are collectors. So, it's funny how you never know which direction a Raymond's going to fall on. Hey, Dr. Robbie. Welcome on. And next colour, what was it going to be? Purple's not the go. The problem with purple is purple doesn't enjoy dicing up with earthy tones and Naples yellow. A little bit, but it doesn't really pop and mix well. Payne's Grey with white. That's what we're after. Payne's Grey for the darker areas, splice it into some white, get like a greyish tone, and we're away. Orange, orange will be our highlight colour. So we're going to use orange, raw, regular, secondary colour orange, with vermilion, which has more of a reddish touch to it. That'll be the highlights. That'll be the last touch points. That'll add vigour on top, and that'll be when we add the. That'll be when we add the next panel onto it, and we're away. That's the plan. Who's that? Ashley, welcome on in. Orange to complement the blue. This is true. This is true, Ray. But the oranges that we're going to use are going to be similar to... Which painting? Do you guys remember Zambezi River? Zambezi River had earthy tones everywhere, and then the finishing pieces were touches of turquoise and magenta that had these last little... turquoise and scarlet, sorry. They had these last little moments of highlights through the picture. Now, orange is such a potent colour, but if we put it in the base coat, it just gets all way too intense. It's about waiting before we put in that intensity. So, currently, we want to build out those colours that we want to be the base coats, and then on the final piece, we get a small brush, like a messy, broken up brush like this, and we use it to add those last little marks of intensity. And we're away. Right, but sorry actually, Ray, you are 100% correct. You are correct that Ray, orange complements blue. Basically, if you're wondering, guys, color wheel, and so if you've got yellow, blue, and red, in between yellow and blue, green, in between red and blue, purple, in between, yeah, you get the idea. Color wheel. Sneezes. The opposite sides of it are complementary. The problem with the color wheel, though, is there is some psychology that comes into it. Blue and orange are a lovely combo, definitely, but I don't like yellow and purple. Like, there's some combinations that I'm not so fond of, but certainly it's a good rule that across from each other, they're a good match. One thing that you can do, thanks Ray, appreciate that, and Dr. Robbie, oh, I got blessed 3 times. Lucky me. And did I see Jay's son? Yeah, JC, welcome on in. Mr. JEC Hunter, back in the room. And JEC, even though it's cold, we're not leaving yet. So I know last time you jumped on in, I disappeared on you pretty much straight after you did the room. Poor old JEC, got in the shower after that, you know, was it me? No, I actually just genuinely finished the set game. But, you've caught me this time. We've got plenty of time to go. Unless we just suddenly lose a creative spark, at which point that'll change things drastically. I like lilac paired with yellow. See, and hold on a second though, is that vibrant yellow? Because if it's like, if you've got a very intense yellow, a more muted purple, like a lilac, is actually really nice, because I feel like it adds something else instead of trying to join the party of power with a strong yellow. You've got to be very careful around those yellows too. They can be so strong. So strong. Yeah. You can lose control of them so fast. See, in a lot of pictures, like even this one right now, I haven't used yellow. And I won't use it at all. The yellow you see in the picture doesn't come from that, look at the colour here, this bold popping yellow. It actually comes from Naples. This is the closest colour I'll go to yellow. It looks yellowy, but it's kind of earthy, kind of poppy. It adds yellow in without the intensity that yellow can have sometimes. And I think if you remove the intensities from the yellows, it allows the blues to speak. So you can see that ultramarine blue is popping off the canvas, but if that yellow was popping yellow, the whole picture would just be too much, too much. Even when you put blue beside red, both at full intensity, you kind of need one primary colour playing the business. So in this case, this picture here, it's business colours blue. And you've got your yellows and your reds in the picture, but shifting around different hues. Not trying to compete with the blue, but supporting it in different little elements. When you put them both in there on full intensity, the picture becomes quite overwhelming. And you're like, but I want that. I want that wow moment. Yeah, a wow moment's good. But you've got to also have some foreplay for the viewer. Like, it's got to be able to calmly and welcoming, calmly be on the wall in a calm way, where a viewer can look at it and not be, you know, it wants to be, just be there, and then give you more as time goes. I'm explaining that very poorly, but if you want to get more from art, it needs to welcome you in, you need to capture your eye, welcome you in, and then once you've been welcomed in, continue to deliver Easter eggs. So, for my art form, big bold colour, not all the colours, usually just a couple of colours that capture your eye, lock you in, and once you're locked in, then you start, I forgot stage 2, but once you're locked in and you're really into the work, I use a symphony of brushstrokes. So many little moments that you can't remember them all. So every time you look at it, you see something new. Now this one here is on layer 1. It's only got about 200, 400 strokes on it. We need to get that up. It needs to go up to a stage where every time you look at it, you can notice something new and forget something old. So that way you're in this constant loop of relearning or re-understanding the artwork, and you never fully grasp the whole picture. That gives long-term value for this art. Not for everyone's art, for this art. What is the time for me? Rick Tell. It's 7:45, so it's early in the morning. It's brisk, guys. It's brisk. It should remind you of spring. First thing in the morning, out here. I've got a little bit of sniffles, but that's why I'm wearing a layer. Not because I've actually got a cold. It's just brisk out here today. It's just got a little nippy bite to it, which is nice. But man, there is a bite. Now, one thing you can use, or that I'm using to chill out those blues a little bit, Payne's Grey beside the blues. Payne's Grey is kind of like someone who wanted black but didn't want to use black but still wanted a bit of kick to it. It's got the intensity of a darker colour, but it plays well with most colours. I think Payne's Grey is my best support colour. Payne's Grey and Naples Yellow. Two favourites. Two favourites. 7:45 where you are, in New Zealand. Yes, this is New Zealand. I'm a Kiwi painter, but most of the work goes other places in the world. Goes overseas, goes over to America, goes to Europe. And part of that's getting a technique to ship the art to make sure it's safe. It took a long time to actually get the boxes perfected. The boxes, the technique to actually make sure it was flat packed and beautifully safe. Canvases can be tough. They really need a lot of packing because the surface is fragile. But if you've got stuff like masonite, perspex, glass is a tough one, it can shatter. But things that are hard, you can actually create the artwork, create it safely, put it in a box and it will ship well. But fragile things can be quite tough to ship. Anyway, international work, shipping's a whole thing. And so for the last 2 years, it really has been at the forefront of my mind to make sure we really nailed that and got the hang of shipping. And we have it now, we definitely do. You've seen those cases that we use now. They're very, very thin. Good value on shipping. Value on shipping's key, guys. You don't want to buy a piece of artwork and then lose 2 or 3 times the value in what it costs to ship. I don't reckon anyway. He lost track of time, did I? Is it not 7:45? Have we gone past that? Have we? Cheers, Jay. Best courier to ship a 34 by 60 inch canvas. Okay, I recommend DHL, but I think that if you are going to ship artwork, the best way to do it is to talk to someone like Pack and Send. Talk to Pack and Send here in New Zealand. They're a franchise here, and depending on who you're speaking with, they might be very, very good at handling art, or they might be a franchisee with Pack and Send who does different jobs. Point is, you're going to need to put some thought into how you want to box your art safely to ship it. I wouldn't put all the weight on a local sender to make sure it's wrapped with something that won't stick to the painting surface, to make sure it's all perfect. Figure out how you're going to box your art to keep it safe. Figure that out, then have a conversation about shipping. 34 by 60 inches here in New Zealand. If you pack that with a nice wrap so nothing sticks to the painting in different weather conditions, some bubble wrap to protect it if it shakes around, and then a wooden crate around it just so no one pressures the surface to hurt it. And you're going to, where are we going? Are we going to America? If we're doing it within New Zealand, it's pretty straightforward. You probably just drop it off down the street. If you're doing it to America from New Zealand, you're probably looking at around 34 by 60. It'd be like $2,000. $2,000 to ship that to the US. I'd need to check. Going to Canada, about the same. 60 inches is quite... it breaks a sound barrier. When you're at 48 inches, you're around the 1.2 thousand mark, but when you hit the 60 inches, you go up to sort of like 2 to 2.2 mark. So scale matters, because when it comes to what they're doing with delivery, vans, shipping, two people lifts and things like that, once you go above 36 by 48 inches, it just jumps into a new price bracket. So about 2.2 thousand on that. But you're at about 1.2. For this size here to ship to the US, this is only about 600 to ship to the US, because it's very thin. It's very thin. And so you actually put this in a protective crate and ship it easily. But yeah, getting things internationally, there's shipping them cheap. You can put them on a boat and wrap them in cardboard. And yes, it could get there. But if you want to ship it so it actually makes it, it needs a protective wooden case, and it needs to go by air. Don't put it on a boat. Get it in the sky, get it moving in a crate. And that's how you do it. That's what I reckon. And it's my first time sending out of the country. Woo-hoo-hoo. That's exciting. That's exciting. Well, one thing I would do is, depending on how much you're charging for the art and what the particular relationship is, you may want to get insurance. And it's very hard to do sometimes for art. Although PAK'nSend does offer shipping loss insurance, I think. Important thing is, forget all my advice. Thanks, I appreciate this. I'd say forget all my advice. Ask Chatbot GBT and just say, I have a picture this size, I'm shipping it out of the country, what should I consider? Now, one thing to consider that I know is going to happen, but remember, this is all just opinions. And what I do may not help you. Your canvas could be a ridiculously thick, deep canvas, or it could be canvas over masonite board, so all this stuff alters the behaviour you'll actually do. I know from New Zealand to Canada, you're going to have an import tax, and depending on where it goes in Canada, it'll be different. Now, whether your understanding with the collector is that they pay all the import tax, or whether you pay it, it's probably going to get held at the border briefly until someone does. So that's a good thing to get arranged there. And sometimes, I think in different zones of Canada, it can get up to like 15 or 17% on memory. So some areas, yeah, it changes. In the US, it's not that high, but in Canada, when artwork goes to Canada from New Zealand, they say, pay that. So what I typically do with Canadian collectors is I'll pay half of the import tax. But again, have that understanding before a bill for however much shows up and someone needs to pay it, because that's not a good way to start a relationship, to argue about those kind of things. You want to make sure that you know all the costs up front, and you know who's actually going to deal with what. And like, so typically I'll say like, some places only charge 3 or 4%, so I say I'll just cover that. Just send me the invoice, and I'll get an invoice there from customs in Germany, and I'll be like, right, pay that. Because that lets the collector know, no, you paid the amount up front. There's no hidden costs. And with artwork, art's feelings, it's weird. You can't risk losing any trust. And so if you give them an amount up front, they've got to be able to believe that amount. You can't just say, oh, sorry, you had shipping. Oh, sorry, you had import tax. Oh, sorry, that frame cost an extra this much. Like, it's just unfair. How much does it cost? How soon can you get it to them? And deliver on that. And then you're away. It's already been discussed, you champion. I have a question, OG. Ask away. I love questions. Love answering questions. Almost as much as I love painting. But I've never painted a question. So, go figure. Maybe I should paint more questions. Maybe I should question more paint. Ooh, it's chilly outside today, so please don't go away. It's cold and it's bright on a cold summer night. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since there's no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. You have to bear with me for a second, guys. I want to stand more straight onto this one, just for a moment. Spin myself around to there, and I'll bring you over here as well. Here we go. You can come to here. There you go. Who can see a horse now? Excuse my sniffles. At this stage, you should be able to start seeing the movement of the horse, where the head's going to be, some ambiguous areas around the feet, but not full definition by any stretch of the imagination, and a mane, which is wild and free. That's what we're after. The ground sort of blurs into the background. There's not really a whole lot of definition there, but it wants to have that step moment. Kind of like a contemporary dancer doing a little move. If we can get that, we're on the right track. Is there a hole on the canvas? How dare there be a hole on the canvas? Yes, there is. In fact, if that offends you, I've got some bad news. You need to be 4 times more offended because there's 4 holes. Now, I'm just kidding. The holes on this canvas, the plan is, and I'll show you this, this is not exactly what gets used, but the idea behind it is you get this, a bolt, and the bolt gets a nut. And what we do with a bolt and a nut is we're able to put nuts in between. Now it's not actually nuts we use, we've got little lugs that look really pretty, but these nuts in between each layer of acrylic canvas, and there'll be several, probably I think 2 for this one, 2 layers of this kind of glass board, and that way you'll be able to see through the paint on different angles, and light will have a pretty fun impact on it. That's the plan. Hey Vernon, welcome on in. And always seen it. That's good. East Coast Realtor. Good to have you in here, East Coast. I hope you're doing well. Right. Sorry, what were we doing? Painting, that's right. Okay. You get so distracted with things. Just want a bit more. Oh, look, that light starting to hit it. Give me that light. That's what we wanted. Get you back here a little bit. Oop. Got here just in time, Vernon. Here I was doing a thing. There we go. Perfect. Sorted. Sorted. Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And if there's no place to go, let it snow, let it snow. Ooh, that's all shining up the top there. That's quite nice. That's quite nice. Okay. Just like that. Like this, and like that. Look at that light hitting it. Changing everything. Will your outfit be white for long? It should be. It should be. And the reason it should be, let's put you there, guys, is because we've been going for about, how long have we been going for now? 60 minutes? Pushing gently and slowly towards 90 minutes. And we haven't ruled it yet, so it should stay white. aside from how crazy this work looks, we've actually had a lot of control about what we're up to here. Since there's no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Oh, the weather outside is frightful. Oh. Wah, wah, wah. Very good. Alright, team. I don't want you to think by any stretch of the imagination I'm abandoning you. But my daughter's been awake for about an hour now, and I would like to go see her. I'm going to put some water on my hands to warm them up, and I need to wash these 3 brushes of mine. So, I'm going to go do that, but we'll be back. I'm not going to turn off the live, we're just going to pause it for 5 minutes. So, go take a break, go to the bathroom, get some fresh air, or just hang out here, just like scratching the corners of your phone until we get back. Sorry. Whatever. Do your thing. Otherwise, this whole video will go up as a replay onto Facebook, and I'll probably, if the footage is any good, I'll turn it into like a cute little reel, and it'll go ding, ding, ding to some 70s or 80s disco song. Sorry, not sorry. So for now, I'm going to go sort these brushes out, get my hands warm, kiss my daughter on the forehead, and then I'll come on back. So give me, yeah, like I say, 5 minutes. I'm just going to swipe this here. There should be a button for this. Here we go. Pause live. I'll see you guys shortly. 1 second. Pa. Did I get it? I didn't get it. Pause live. Couldn't pause live now. Try again later. TikTok says no. Right. In that case, give me just 2 minutes, team. I'm going to get these brushes clean, and then I'll come on back out. Talk soon, guys. 1 second. I like it. Woo-hoo-hoo. Bada bing, ba boom, ba bing. Bada bing, ba boom, ba bing. Sorry for disappearing, guys. I'm back. So, dashed off briefly there because wasn't allowed to pause it. I've just been, I've delivered about 25 kisses to my daughter's cheek. She's 5 months old and she's teething, so. Ooh. Hello, Mr. Sun. It is a delight to have that sunshine coming on down. I think we may even be daring enough to let a bit of natural light warm us up. Do we dare? That's the question. Oh, guys, it is brisk out here. Woo. Woo. It's a brisk temperature. Kind of like it though. Okay, so we've got our stallion here, well on the way. Early layer, kind of crazy, kind of fun, kind of in all directions. Where are we going to go next? I reckon we were on a pretty good trajectory with that Payne's Grey and white, but now it needs a little flick in it. A little flick of something. Guys, I'm going to be really naughty with this. We're going to add a little bit of green. This is not where you thought I'd be going. And when I say a little bit of green, I mean just a little bit. Oopsie daisies. I've left my, oh well. I left my paintbrushes inside. Luckily, I have a spare. Right. Bit of green through here. Just a little bit of green. Not too much, just the smallest little amount. Just add a little bit of flair to it. There we go. Ooh. Then on this side here. Lovely. It's just gonna look so lovely. Yeah, this is the right move. Still steely, still Paynesy grey-y, but it has just that little bit of frisky flick. You ever walking through a gallery and you're wondering what you want to, someone says, oh, what do you think? I like it. I just want to see more frisky flicks, that's all. It's totally okay. You're allowed to desire frisky flicks in your artwork. Oh, let's go right a little bit down there, okay. Let's get, yeah, make sure too that I'm standing with better posture. I keep slouching as I'm painting. I've got this habit of like hunching over like this, and painting like this, and it does your back in. You've got to stand up tall and straight. You really have to. All right. All right. Let's get this through here. There we go. Powerful greens. Subtlety to the colour as well. Subtlety. Ooh, that's less subtle. There's a whole bunch of white going into my green. It's okay though, we'll make it work. There we go. I think it's finished. I like your thoughts there. It's kind of fun where it's at, but no, I don't think it's finished. But I do have a plan. I do have a plan. Once. Here we go. Here we go. So that's enough on the underlying layer. This next piece, what we're going to do is we're going to add these bolts through it. These bolts are going to allow us to lift the next layer off the surface. It's going to be like a... I'm not going through, it's still got the price tag on it. Let me just get that off. There we go. Slide that bolt in. Perfect. And now, I just need to grab a collection of washers left on the table. Yeah, thank you very much. Helpful assistant there. Thank you, Shelby Cooper. Coming on down in here, we have a jar full of washers. Now, these are not what the work would normally be finished with, but while we're at the working layer stages, these will do just fine. So, a washer is just a metal disc, and I'm going to put 4 on each one of these bolts, and that's going to stop the next layer from coming on in and squishing it. Don't want that. There we are. 4 there. It's kind of like that currency, I think. Is it Laos or China or somewhere that has currency with a hole in the middle of it? Kind of cool. And then we need, here we go, 1, 2. This will all make so much sense soon enough. Okay, 2 more. Lovely. These will go back in. And now, pick up this. And, bubbles. See that? I'll wipe that off. Luckily, I already planned for this. I have a towel. It's condensation. Beautiful. Now, this way, slide this. And do it like that. Do it like that. So we'll lift this big piece up just a little bit more. Perfect. 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 Alright, now we have our next panel in between us and the artwork, so now when we come into it we can paint over the top again and not be influenced by the impasto textures on that layer. So that's pretty fun. That's pretty fun. So you can just see it just there, you see? Glass panel over the top. Let me just swipe that there. Yes, but why is the coffee gone? So 8 o'clock here, 8 a.m. here in New Zealand. Or is it 8:30? 8:30 here now. Time gets away. And we're going to add the next colour. Payne's Grey has been played with. Don't need this. Early start. David, indeed. 8:40 a.m. 8:40. Tasty. Early start, yes. See what happened? What happened was I scheduled all the lives for the next 2 weeks on my phone on TikTok in Rarotonga. And then when I came back into New Zealand, the time zones are different, and it thought I meant for Rarotonga. So I'd scheduled them all for 9 a.m. But now they're all in there for 7 a.m. So that's perfectly fine. I just get up a little bit earlier. I just get started on my day a little bit more on fire. But it does mean, ooh, guys, I'm going to try something really naughty on this panel here. This is high risk material. That wasn't me, that was the iridescent gold. We're going to add gold onto the layer on top. This is a high risk colour. Gold either makes a work amazing, or it literally ruins everything. And you never quite know which way gold wants to fall on any given day. You're like, I think this work wants some gold, and you add it, and you're like, ooh, it did not want gold. But we'll see. We will see. We will see. This is my teapot, this is my stuff. Hey, do, but do, do. this. Seb, it's been forever, BGB. Welcome on back in. I did disappear for a week there. Ran off to Rarotonga. But I'm back now. Back. Painting stallions. Alright team, I reckon we will pause there. Robert Martin, 100. Welcome on in, Robert. Love the birds in the background. Yeah, normally we have a few more around. You'd think there'd be more around for 8 AM, but anyway. Is that the ocean? Glennis, it is not. It's the rustling of the wind in the trees around this area. So let me show you something, guys. We've got a couple of things going on here. Okay, here we are. This is where this work's got to. I'll lift this off here, and this is always kind of fun to do. I'll pull this over here. There we go. Okay. There's our original horse. Here's our other horse. But if I bring this up to you here, we can just see a few wild strokes on the surface. But when I bring it back here, we have the ability to give highlights to the current horse. And we can add some more and play around some more. And then you can add additional layers. And then actually what we can do is start swapping layers around if we wanted to. But it's a bit of fun for now. And the fun you can have here too, guys, I'll show you this, is if we move around, if we come right up to it here, we move, the actual picture itself has this depth to it. And so on different angles, it'll lose all clarity and turn into basically abstract art. And then on certain angles, the image will start to come out. And then again, the more we go on the angle, the more it's going to abstract, just because of the depth between the two. But it needs some more love, I think. But we'll pause there for today. That's been fun. Glynis, why the plastic? This is a great question. So this is acrylic paint, and I've dabbled with working on glass, and yes, you can add additives into acrylic paints to make them combine nicely onto glass. But with the Perspex, it's shatterproof, and so it can go great distances around the world without shattering. That'd be gutting. And the polymers that make Perspex are very, very similar, the same as the ones that make acrylic paints. And so without primer, because we want the colours, the layers raw, we don't want to put a priming coat on that turns the whole thing white or blurry. That means we have to actually go unprimed surface. Perspex means we must use acrylic paints, adhere to them, and that's the technique that we're currently playing with. We're playing. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're all healthy and happy. Cheers, BGB. And does it go on a frame? That's a good question. I'm thinking no. I think it's more fun to have it raw on the wall, but I haven't fully decided. Let me come back to you on that. And what inspired today for this art? Okay, great question. The picture itself, I wanted movement and I wanted to do an animal because yesterday was a portrait, so we landed on a stallion. But in terms of what we're doing right now, we're doing a series of experiments to play with acrylic on perspex to try and create a technique which I can actually get aggressive layering. And we're getting some good steps put in here. Some fun stuff's happening. All right, guys, enjoy the rest of your day, night, evening, morning, whatever it is where you are in the world. Sending you all the best from New Zealand. Catch you guys.